How you doing? Now we're going to visit with our friends over at the Alliance of Rouge Communities. There they are, the Alliance of Rouge Communities ARC, not the other ARC. This is the Alliance of Rouge Communities ARC. And we're going to be learning about how to protect the river at home and how to correctly dispose of fats, oils, and grease properly. That's what we're going to be talking about. Okay? So we're going to protect the river at home by disposing of fats, oils, and grease properly. How do we do that? Fats, oils, and grease prevention protects the environment. If you handle your fats, oils, and greases properly, you will be protecting the environment. Excessive fats, oils, and grease in sewer pipes, referred to as fog, not kidding, they refer to it as fog. Fog blocks pipes and can create pollution problems. Fog enters sewer pipes through restaurant, residential, and commercial sink drains. Once in the sewer, fog sticks to the pipe, sticks to the outside of the pipe, thickens, and can eventually block the entire pipe. Blockages in sewer pipes can send sewage backwards up floor drains in homes and or out of manholes in the streets and rivers, especially during floods. When the water pushes back with all that other stuff and it hits that part, the pipe is supposed to be this big, but it's only got that much to go through, plugs it up. Now we're coming back, it's gonna come up, we're gonna have a flood. Possibly caused by fats, oils, and grease accumulated in the pipe. So a plumber will have to be hired to clean a sewer and possibly repair plumbing inside the home if it's got up in there and everything and it's nasty. Cleanup costs can be expensive in the long run, and the cost can be much higher if your home has a septic field, because then you got to take care of the septic field. You got to clean all that out, maybe even reconstruct. Not a happy thought. So from sinks to sewers, there we see some, oh, those eggs look good too, but the grease coming out of there, if we put it down in the sink, it's going to go to the sewers, it's going to go down there, it's going to end up in the river. Cooking grease coats pipes in much the same way that fatty foods clog human arteries. There's an example for you. Don't want to have those fatty foods, right? So we're getting a little dietary nutrition here. Information. The grease clings to the inside of the pipe, builds up, and can cause a complete blockage. As we just discussed, and if that blockage happens, right? Nothing's coming out, so you can get a flood in your house, or you can push it back out, get a flood outside, or if it comes back up, whoa, it's coming up in the house, and we've seen floods like that happen, and that's unfortunate. Now, there's examples of fog, these excessive fats, oils, and grease. Where do they come from? There's more than 10, so I'm going to not use my figures. Examples of fog include meat fats, butter, margarine, cookie oil, shortening, just using the one finger, food scraps, baking goods, sauces, gravy, pastries, salad dressings, deep fried foods, and soups. Don't want to be putting that down the drain. Get rid of it some other way. Send it out to the trash. Now, even a small amount of fog in a sink drain can cause sewer backups and overflows that are messy, costly, and a potential threat to your health and the environment. So again, we see from sinks, right? Cooking the, put the grease in it. Oh, we don't want to do that, but it goes down here, and then it goes down to the Rouge River in this area. In other places around the country, it goes to other rivers, obviously, right? So we don't want to send it down to the creeks and the streams either, because when it gets there, there's a whole lot of other mess that occurs. So keep your drains clear of fats, oils, and grease. Now that's quite a statement there. How do you do that, pamphlet? Tell me. Well, what you can do is you share these tips. First you do these things and share them with your family, friends, and neighbors. You can pour or scrape grease or oily food waste into a container or jar, just like that. See, it's kind of looking like a peanut butter jar. My mom used to do that. Allow grease to cool or solidify in the container before throwing it in the trash. Some of it was kept also to recook, but that's a different kind. Allow grease to cool or solidify in the container before throwing in the trash. Use a paper towel or scraper to remove the residual grease from dishes and pans prior to washing. It makes it easy to wash, I'll tell you that. Mix liquid vegetable oil with an absorbent material such as cat litter or coffee grounds in a sealable container before throwing it in the trash. Think about that. I don't know about that, but okay. Keep drains clean by pouring a half a cup of baking soda down the drain, followed by a half a cup of vinegar. It's not only going to clean your drain, it's going to be kind of entertaining, okay? Wait 10 or 15 minutes and then rinse the whole thing with hot water. So things to avoid. Things to avoid. Do not pour fat, oil, or grease down drains or garbage Garbage disposals, don't do that. Do not use hot water to rinse grease off cookware. It cleans it pretty quick, but you know where it's taking that grease down there, the water cools and the fat solidifies. Do not use hot water to rinse grease off cookware, utensils, dishes, or surfaces. Do not put disposable wipes down a drain or toilet. They do not dissolve and will cause clogs, and I know that happens. I was on a Huron River one time after a flood, and it backed up and some sewage got out. The stuff was hanging from the trees. It was autumn. Very, very strange. It was nasty. So anyway, the negative effects of fog, which are the excess fats, oil, and greases in sewer pipes, it attracts insects and rodents. They'll even live in the pipes in your house. Where do these flies come from? They came from the drain. The way to correct that is keep them clean, put the hot water down there, do the baking soda with the vinegar, and keep the thing clean and close it up when you're not using it. So property damage from sewage backups that is not always covered by insurance, and if it impacts neighbors or other places in the area, well, you might become liable for that. But hey, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm just saying, keep your pipes clean, right? Sewage overflows in streets or rivers, and that's very nasty, and we've seen that in this area, and I know it happens all over the world, right? When you get it back up, you get the sewage out there in streets and rivers. It is an expensive and unpleasant cleanup, even in the short term. And then the last negative effect we're going to look at is higher operation and maintenance costs at your local sewer department. So it costs tax money as that load comes down, and they got to clean that stuff out too. And you're talking about it's coming in from tens of thousands of homes and millions of homes, right? So the results are costly. The fog buildup in sewer pipes requires local public works staff to go to the site and remove the blockage. And cleaning fog buildup from sewers increases maintenance costs for you and in general for the entire system and everyone else in the sewer system. We can keep our environment clean and avoid unnecessary maintenance costs by keeping fats, oils, and grease out of the sewers. And then we're going to see if we can get you a view of fog. There it is. You can look it up on the internet yourself. Kind of looks like the sky, but it's not. That's the inside of a pipe, and it's got fat all over it. And there's a hard-working folks from the Department of Public Works cleaning that out. So we learned about protecting the Rouge River at home by disposing of fats, oils, and grease properly. And hey, this information is good for anybody in the United States and all around the world. So go ahead and share it. We don't want to put the fog down there. We want to clean it up, let it cool off, throw it in the trash, get it out of the way that way. Thank you.